Okay, guys. So I'm going to share the dream again, but I may not get it word to word as I delivered it. I'm not. I'm just going to share it afresh again, and I'll interpret it afterwards. Okay, so this is what I want you guys to do for me. All my first-time viewers, I want you to click the subscribe button and enable all videos, okay? And also check out the other prophetic dreams that the Lord had given me. There are some that had already come to pass. I just want you to check it and you know, share your thoughts and your revelations about it. God bless you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share it. So in this dream, I saw myself, my wife, in this country, and the country seems like it was divided into two. I saw one on my left, one on my right, and we were standing in between. And I told my wife to go on the left side. I said specific word that he should disguise himself and infiltrate the left side of the country and see what's going on there. So she decided to go. So she was going. I said, no, hold on. Let me come with you. And so we all, me and my wife both, went to the camp. That's the left camp. And what I saw about the outer camp was the fact that, or the outer of that camp was that the fence was very low, such that it was just like very low that I can actually watch what was going on in the camp or see at the actual camp. Okay, and also when I looked at the right side, the camp was very tall, very tall, such that you can't even look. I mean, you can see what's going on in the inner chambers of that camp or side of the country. Okay, and so me and my wife entered in. There were soldiers that were guiding the entrance of this other side of the country, or the camp, I would call it, or the city. Okay, so when we got to the entrance, they asked a couple of questions whether we're from here, and we said, yeah, we're from here, and we just want to go back in. And so they held my right hand, a lady held my wife's left hand, and the one that held my right hand was a man, and they took us in. But what I saw before we went on, what I saw about those that were guiding the place were like the military. They were military guys, okay, but they did not look American. They were like Asians, okay. And I presumed in the dream, I presumed they were what, or I figured they were Chinese, okay. That's what I got during the dream. That's what I felt, that they were Chinese. And also when they were taking us in from the entrance, we walked maybe about a second, and then just at the entrance there was an American passport that was lying down on the floor, and I nearly stepped on. I believe I stepped on it, and then I was like, I drew the attention of the guy that was holding me that there's a passport on the floor, and he looked at it and said, no, this belongs to the American soldier that was captured in the India camp. So he took it and he walked with us into the camp. So when we got into the camp, the inner camp, okay, when we walked from the entrance into the inner of the camp, or the inside of the camp, they left us there, and then we began to roam up around the camp, checking what was going on, me and my wife both. So we checked up around everything. Everything looks like gloomy, so dark, and like chaos everywhere. And so we transitioned from there. In a dream, I saw myself and my wife just transition from that side of the camp into the right side of a divided nation, which was America. Okay, that was the right side. And so we entered there, and then as soon as we entered into the entrance, a soldier drew our attention that the president would like to talk to us, and that was President Donald Trump. He was on the right side. Okay, and we said okay, and so we made an arrangement, and we went to where his house was. So we sat down. When we went there, what I noticed is there was a big chair, like a table that was already there in front of the house, and there was 4 chairs around the table, and he was sat on my right side, and I was sat on his left side, and my wife was sat on my left side. Okay, and when we went there, there was already a prophet of God that was on his right side. Okay, so I was facing the prophet, and that prophet's name is called Prophet Ajiman Prompe from Ghana. And so the president sat down and said to me that he had a word that we have been able to infiltrate the left side of the camp or the divided nation. And I said, yeah. And he said, oh yes, that's why he called us, and he would like to hear what we came up with. And so I began to tell him about what we saw, how we were able to infiltrate him, that it was so easy to infiltrate and stuff like that. And then I said, I made mention of the passport that was on the floor, that I think we almost stepped on it or so. That the Chinese or the Asian military guy picked up and took to the entrance, and said that when he picked up the passport, he said he belonged to an American soldier that was captured. So I told him about our story, and I told him what we saw there and everything, and he said, wow. So he was so he was happy about the news and every update that he got from there. And so I saw that he was impressed, and he said, well done, well done, well done, well done. And if I remember correctly, he began to so he began to crack jokes with me, like he began to call me like a low man and stuff like that, and it was a little alas, also little lass. He said little lass, and it was supposed to mean a joke for me to laugh. Okay, because when he said that, he was laughing and smiling, and then I began to smile as well and began to laugh at what he said. And so he tried to crack jokes, and he said okay, then he would like to meet us at dinner again to share more, to brood on the issue again, and continue the conversation. And I said okay. So he said he would like to take his leave. And so whilst he was about to leave, the President Donald Trump's face all of a sudden quickly changed into a man of God whom I know. And I believe he actually came to the White House to pray in the White House. I believe during the inauguration or something like that. There was an occasion that he came, and he's a Ghanaian archbishop, okay, or archbishop. That's how we call it, archbishop. He's called Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams. So his face changed into the archbishop, and then all of a sudden, the archbishop began to talk to me and said, well done for the information that you brought to the president. And I am proud of you guys, and I'm proud of your wife. You guys did well. And he began to tell me about my wife, that I had a good wife. And the other prophet too said, I had a good wife. And I'm like, where's your wife? And he said to me that his wife went to somewhere to go break something for the family, but she has never returned back again. So in the dream, I took it as a separation. And so when the conversation was going, I said to the Archbishop that the president requires us to come back again in the evening to come and continue the conversation, further, and so would like to go rest so we can get energy to come and talk to the president again. And he said, okay, we can go. And so we left that place. We left the president's house and we went into where we were supposed to sleep. Okay, and this place was another, like it was rounded, or it was fenced all around, and it was like military, you see, barricades that was used to fence like round. Okay, and there were military men that were guiding that barricades all around. And when we entered into it, okay, there were tents in the barricades, and there were people sleeping in the tent, and there were also people just sleeping outside the tent with mats. Okay, and there were TVs there. And so I took a mat. There was a mat on the floor, and I slept on it, and then my wife too slept on one. And then I said, no, let me just watch what's going on the other side. I mean, in the outside of the camp, what's going on in the country. And so there was a TV going on. I mean, there was a TV that was switched on, and so I began to watch it, and I woke up from this very prophetic dream. And so I told you guys that I felt it wasn't literal, but there was something more to it than it seems. Okay, so I went to God, I prayed, and the Lord began to minister to me. First of all, this is the interpretation. The Lord said to me that the whole entire dream was about the left and the right. That is why we saw ourselves standing in between the two divided nations, one on the left, one on the right. Okay, and he said to me that it was concerning the election, and the election was between the left and the right. Okay, and the Lord said to me that whatever I saw on the left, that is what is going to happen to the country when the left, which is Democrat, okay, the Lord said to me that the left represented the Democrat and the right represented the Republican. That is why I saw the current president of the United States of America on the right side. That is Donald Trump on the right side. It says the left represented the Democrats, but because the right, their flag barrier or their candidate is already a president, that's why I saw him there. Okay, and he said to me that, okay, he said to me that the whole thing was about the left and the right, and whatever I saw on the left is what, when the left assume office, or whoever stands for the left wins the election, that is what is going to happen to the nation. He told me that the way I saw the security around that side, okay, the left side in the dream, is the same way the security of the nation is going to be. The fences were very short. It was very easy to penetrate, disguise myself and penetrate, infiltrate. He says that's the same way the nation's security is going to be. The soldiers were foreigners. And so basically the Lord said everything that we saw there is what is going to happen. There is going to be so many. The country is going to be so dark, gloomy. There's going to be foreign invasion, like foreigners entering the country. Okay, there will be a lot of foreigners, Chinese and so forth and so on. So the country is going to be open up to foreigners. A lot of things are going to invade in the country, and the country's security is going to be broken. The Lord said to me that the same way I saw the passport of a nation down, okay, that is how the security that is how the national the honor the nation carries, the security, the honor the nation carries, the prestige, the how people esteem the nation. It is going to go down, and then the country's passport is going to be useless. It is not going to hold that high value as it is now. It is going to be so devalued. Okay, and the country's security is going to be put down. The country's security is going to be shut down like that. So it's like the whole country's security system is going to be so low such that there can be penetration, there can be infiltration. And the Lord said to me that, now hear me, what you saw on the right side is also what, when the right side, the candidate for the right side, when he wins the election, that is how the nation is going to be. Okay, the Lord said to me that the nation's security is going to be so tight, and that is why I saw the outside fence so tall you can't even look into that very side, or that very right side of the divided nation of America, or the divided camp. I like to call it camp. Okay, he says that is how the security of the nation is going to be. And even when you enter into that camp, the security there is so maximum, because when we entered into the camp, when we were going to sleep, where we were going to sleep, there was a fence around, like military barricades. They've used it as a fence, around, big one, and soldiers were guiding that thing. Even where you sleep, there were military men guiding. And I forgot to say this too. The outside of the fence, the bigger fence, okay, there were also security, like police, American soldiers that were guiding the fence. Okay, watch this. So the Lord said, even the country itself, the inside of the country, the internal security will be so strengthened, and the external security will be so strengthened, such that there cannot be penetration. Nobody can be able to penetrate the defenses of the nation if the right actually takes office. And the Lord said to me that there is also some things. He said to me that all these things that I was seeing was pertaining to the election. Okay, he says the one that is going to win the election is also in the dream. Actually, when I was praying about it, because I was seeking to know what was going on, and I was seeking to know whom was going to. And the Lord said to me that at that time as I was praying, he said to me that the instructions that he had given him, he had obeyed it, so he will win. Okay, but the Lord said to me in the dream, the prophet that was seated there was represented the men and the women of God, okay, that the Lord had actually appointed to him, to the president, to counsel the president and to give the president insight of what is going on. Okay, and the Lord said to me that his win would depend on his ability to follow or obey the instructions of the Lord. But as I said earlier on, the Lord said to me that as at the time I was praying, that he said to me every instruction he's given to his servants, the prophets, to the man of God, to the president, he had followed, so he's going to win. Okay, and the Lord said to me that not only that, but he said to me that the place where the president's face changed into a man of God, the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan William, represented the fact that as he takes office or assumes the presidency, he the Lord himself is going to rule the White House. Okay, he's going to rule, like sit on a throne in the White House and rule the affairs of this nation. It is no more going to be about the president, but it's going to be all about God. God himself is going to take this throne and rule. And the Lord said to me during the prayer, this was a side dish. During the prayer, the Lord said to me that the Lord, he says he's going to change the heart of the president so that the president will have a heart for him. And would be like, will be sold out to the Lord. And the Lord himself will rule from the White House through that man. And that is what is going to happen. So the dream is basically, the Lord telling us what is at stake, when the left wins, what is going to happen, and when the right wins, what is going to happen. Okay, and pretty much giving you what you should be expecting. Okay, but he also had a word of encouragement there to the believers out there that we still have hope, and that as the president has carried out the prophetic instructions that was given to the men of God, to him, he's going to be a winner. He's going to win the election. So we all need to pray for him, intercede for the president, intercede for the election. I definitely, from what I've been seeing, what my wife has been seeing, this is not part of it. Okay, I'm adding this to it. Even after these dreams, what I've been having, what I've been seeing, what my wife has been having, what myself I've been having. I believe after the election, if President Trump assumes second term, which he will, there will be some chaos. There will be some riots that will be taking place, and I know he's going to step his foot down to arrest all those things and address them. But we should be praying towards that there will be a peaceful election, that the candidate of the Lord, or the candidates which the Lord has chosen, would emerge in a winner. Let the will of God prevail over the will of the enemy. And so be praying, and know that for sure, I said for sure, what the Lord has said will surely come to pass. We all need to work on it, pray towards it, make sure we take dominion over the word of God and establish it by doing what we're supposed to do as Christians. I'm praying for the president. I'm praying for this nation. And I really don't want the nation to go anyhow the Lord doesn't want it to go. Pray. I'm done. I'm just a messenger. God bless you. I love you all. Shalom.